Hey everyone, so today I want to share with you my top 4 pictures of 2024. Now I do have my full 24 pictures of 2024 on my website, so if you want to see the full pictures and the full list, you can go head on over to my website. I will have a link down below this video where you can see all the pictures and see what my favorite pictures were from this year. This year has been really cool. We got to travel to Alaska, Hawaii, the Oregon coast, and a whole bunch of places around here. And these were my top 24 pictures of this year. I highly recommend everyone do this. Just go through your pictures. You don't have to do 24. You can do 10. You can do 50. You can do 100 if you really want to. These are the top 4 pictures. However, I'm gonna talk about these pictures, but I do want to show you the rest of them. So these are the rest of the 24, and these are in no order, but these top 4 are my favorite. And we'll start from number 4. And these were the Northern Lights, and this was taken with my iPhone because I didn't have my cameras with me when we were out at my kids' baseball tournament. And so we decided to just go out, and we were hanging out, and someone's like, hey, we can see the Northern Lights. And I looked up, and you couldn't see them with the naked eye. You had to use a camera of some sort, but I found this composition, set up my iPhone, and held it steady. I didn't even have like a tripod or anything. I just held it steady, and it looks pretty good. Like, obviously, if you get close, you're gonna see it doesn't look, it kind of falls apart. Now this is zooming into 200%, but if you're just looking at this picture and you're viewing it on a phone or even a screen like this, it looks really good. And it was really inspiring because I was like, there's so much more I could do with if I had my regular camera. But again, I probably wouldn't be able to take this picture because I hadn't set up or even tried playing with my camera, like the Sony a7 II at the time, or even the Fujifilm camera, to take this picture. So the iPhone was the best camera in this moment, and it did a pretty good job. I really like the lights, this pink hue here, and then the green lights here. So it was very, very cool. And again, I've never seen the Northern Lights like this before. I don't think I've ever seen the Northern Lights, so it was very cool to take this picture. Number 3, this is from Alaska, and this is ice falling into the water from this iceberg. Not even iceberg, I think it's a glacier. There you go. I couldn't think of the word, but this was super cool and super fun because, obviously to see an iceberg, but to see the blue and the crystal blue water that this was, or the crystal blue ice, I guess this is amazing. But what made this really cool was, and I told my wife, right before this picture was taken, whoever was looking at this iceberg or this glacier, and before that ice fell into the water, we were the last ones to see that ice. And who knows how long it had been sitting there? Maybe a month, 2 months, 3 days, who knows? But we were the last ones to see that ice before it fell into the water. And so it just shows like the impermanence of, when you take a picture, and then the fact that I actually got the splash and everything. So this was taken in Glacier National Park. And so we had forest rangers jumping on the, park rangers jumping on the ship, and they talk to you about what's going on. But they were telling us that this glacier here is almost like 15 stories high, right? It's ginormous, but in this picture, it doesn't look that big. But when you're up close, it's gigantic. And obviously we can't get that close, but this image here just, for me, was one of my favorite pictures of this year because, again, I'd never seen a glacier before, and there you go. And then you got to see it fall in the water. It was really cool. And the noise that it made was unbelievably loud. Number 2, this is again from Alaska. And this to me just says wilderness, like the Alaskan frontier of, it was, it actually wasn't as cold as it looks. It looks really cold, but we didn't have jackets on actually. But just having these snow-capped mountains, and you can see the tracks from the snowmobiles in here, so people going out and exploring. It was just like a really cool picture, and I just love how this peak is coming through with the clouds over here, and this was taken up in the Yukon, and so this was very cool. And I never thought I'd be able to go to the Yukon, and so to have this picture, to be able to take this picture and have it turn out the way it did, was something I will never forget. I was really pumped when I came back and saw this one, because in the moment there's so much to see and you're just taking so many pictures. And I told my wife after the Alaska trip, by the time we got to the end of it, I had taken so many pictures I didn't want to take anymore. Like, my cup was overflowing from all the joy I had. And it wasn't even like a photography trip. This was a trip for just my wife and I, and so it was really cool to be able to capture some amazing moments. And then number one, this picture here, again from Alaska, but it had nothing to do with the trip itself. This was a fishing boat off the coast of Alaska, and this to me was just a picture I've always wanted to take and never knew I would have the opportunity to take it. Having the fishing boat here with these gulls flying in the background, with the sun setting, and the you just see the emptiness of the ocean. This to me is my favorite picture of the year, and it might be one of my favorite pictures of all time. And these pictures, I should say, these pictures are my own. I don't want to say fine art, but these are my favorite pictures, not family pictures, or anything, but just pictures of my own artwork and things I've captured. And this one here is by far one of my favorites, and I almost didn't take this picture. The story behind this: we were on the cruise, and I saw this vessel, this fishing boat going by, and I was just like, "Oh man, this is awesome! I should take a picture." And then I thought, well, I don't really want to, because again, this is towards the end of our trip, and I was like, kind of done with photography. But I knew if I didn't take this picture, I would have regretted it for a very long time, and so I thought of the old Wayne Gretzky quote: "You can't score a goal if you don't take the shot." And so I went, framed up a couple of pictures, and really I knew I got it after like the first shot, but I took like 3 or 4 more, and then when I edited it down, this is what I got, and I was blown away. I was really happy with this picture. This will be a print that I'm going to put like back over here in my office, and so I will get this printed. I just need to do it. I've been talking about it since May. It looks like, yeah, May we took this trip, so I need to get this printed because this was really cool, and this is one of my favorite images I took this year, and again, like I said, might be one of my favorites all time. There you have it. Those are my top 4 favorite pictures of 2024 and the little backstory behind them. However, go to my website, you can see all 24 of my pictures, and the other 20 are not in any order. I couldn't do that. It was hard enough to get down to 24. And again, if you haven't done this before, I highly recommend you saying, like, give yourself an arbitrary number, or it's 24 for the year 2024, or 10, 5, whatever, and go through and pick your favorite pictures. It seems a lot easier than it was. When I did my first pass through, I probably had I did have 48 pictures, double what I needed. So I had to go through and get rid of a bunch. And then when I got down to 26, that was the hardest, trying to figure out which 2 to cut, because there were several that I really liked. One was a pixel, and I realized that's a family picture, so I took her out, and then it was just one, and that was really tough. And it's, if you go through that, it's you really get to know yourself, and you really get to force yourself to choose why you like this picture over this other picture. And at the end of the day, it's really arbitrary, right? And none of our pictures are saving the world. None of us are trying to be world famous photographers with some kind of humanitarian background or anything like that. We're taking these pictures for ourselves and for fun. And still, though, we should, look into our art and see what we liked, see what we didn't like, see the things that, how we grew from, January to December, and see where you want to grow and such from there. Overall, I'm really happy with how this year's turned out. It was a big camera upgrade here, and I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but I'm really happy with how all of this turned out. So I would love to know, what are your favorite pictures of 2024? If you have a link to where they are, please share that down below. Let's support each other. I would love to check out your work. And again, please go on over, check out my website. If you are interested in seeing the other 20 pictures that I picked as my favorite pictures of this year. Thank you as always for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye bye.